Just realized that I had not explained something about how Ableton Live sets are created and saved and how you would store these on your flash drives or your cloud storage. So let me explain that. If you look up here at the top of Ableton Live, you have the title of the project that you're currently working on, or rather, I'm sorry, the title of the Ableton Live set that you're currently working on. This one's called Worship Pads. This is one that we use in our church. And this is the title of the project. So what Ableton allows you to do is have several different Ableton Live set documents that you are working on within a single project. So this is the document that we're currently working on. That's all of this entire thing. And it is stored in this project, the one that's in the brackets here. All right, so if you need to create a new project, like if you open yours up and it doesn't have a project associated with it, like this Worship Pads project is currently associated with Dr. Mister's Rubber Robot, which is actually one of my daughter's project folders for something she was creating. What you're going to do is go over here to File, and you're going to save Live Set As. And I'm going to leave the title Worship, well, I'll call it Worship Pads 2, just so I have a way of distinguishing it. And instead of saving it in Dr. Mr. Rubber Robot's project, instead of saving that here, I'm going to go to the desktop and I'm going to just store it on the desktop. And watch what happens when I do that. This is an Ableton Live set, and all I'm doing is storing that set on the desktop. Now you can see, because I chose a new location that did not have an Ableton project folder already, it created a new Ableton project folder with the same title. Alright, so if I close this out and go to the desktop, you'll be able to see what that looks like. It is Worship Pads 2 project right here. This is an Ableton Live project folder. So when you go to store your Ableton projects, you're going to want to store this project folder, because this folder contains not just the Ableton Live set, but every instrument and every sound that you used in producing this set. So if you just share the set file, you will not get all of the materials that are needed to play that file back. So you need to get this project folder, and I'm going to show you how to make sure that all your stuff is going to appear. This button here, Collect All and Save, what this does is Ableton will use audio from all over your computer. Like when you use the browser to search for different files and stuff that you're using in your project, you could be using a MIDI file from over here, and you could be using an audio file from on your flash drive, and you could be using just all kinds of resources that are spread out all over the computer. So what this does is this collects all of that information into your project folder. It makes a new copy of all of that information, all of those sounds, all those devices, copies it into your project folder, so that when you share your project folder with another computer that's running Ableton, everything you need to run that project is going to be there inside of that folder. So the first project you create, this pad project, you need to save it so that you see the same title here and here. And then you need to collect all and save and tell it yes, 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 yes. We're going to collect everything. So it's going to pull all those files together and save it in that project folder. Then I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment when it gets done. In the meantime, I'll tell you a little story. My wife bought me this little pick punch. It's actually like a big stapler, but what it does is punch. And it's just a wonderful little device to make yourself extra guitar picks in a crunch. So it's something I would recommend every guitar player having, because constantly running out of picks. And since they send you credit cards for free in the mail, you can just apply for credit cards that you're never going to get online, and they'll just send you free pieces of plastic in the mail. Then you can use your pick punch to just make copy after copy after copy of free guitar picks, basically. And then if you're teaching and you're giving away guitar picks, or if your guitar player at church is constantly borrowing a guitar pick from you, you can just make copies out of credit cards and give those away to your guitar players, give those away to your guitar students. You can, bless your friends with them at parties. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. And I don't know, maybe if you made really good ones, you could even, I don't know, sell them to your friends, or you could charge a premium for all of the guitar picks that you make. So one thing that's probably pretty difficult to do is making your own guitar strings. I hear that you need a lot of really specialized equipment to do that. So probably not something I would recommend trying unless you wanted to get like a really expensive machine lathe to hook your strings up to and try to make that work. I hear it's a pretty tedious process, but the lathe makes it a lot faster. It actually spins the core wire, and you have to hold the wrap wire in your hand and like work it up the string as it's spinning. And you can make like one guitar string in about 30 seconds with a good machine lathe. Kind of works like a sewing machine. You've got a foot pedal that okay, great, we're done. So now we'll go back and I'll open up the Worship Pads project, and you will see that everything that I needed for that project is here. The project info is in the Ableton project folder, and the samples are here in the samples folder. So all because I told it I need a copy. So now if I move this project folder to some other computer, all those copies of the pads will come with it. So there you go. That's all we needed to do for that today, kids. Have a good one.